It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Gonzalo running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada. In there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an absolute...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello out there and welcome to Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit.
Yeah, Sport fan, good afternoon. It's always a pleasure to be on the Sport Beat.
Yeah, on today's episode of Sports Orbit, as always, we have a loaded and exciting package for you. Of course, the controversy being generated concerning the appointment of a new coach, the dust is still yet to settle. Of course, some NPFL matches also went down yesterday, and also we also saw a much anticipated EPL game. Interesting match we saw last night. That and so much more we'll give to you in the course of this program. But first, we'll begin from the home front, where the Minister of Sport, Sunday Dare, actually stepped in to hold the appointment of Jose Peseiro. Recall that during the week we told you that the NFF was insisting that Peseiro was the man for the top job, but Dare has said that you had shortlisted 4 people, then you haven't even interviewed all of them, and you just settled on one person. What is the criteria for you to settle? At least go through the whole process of interviewing everybody and let the best man who does well get the job instead of singling down to one person. Salifu, I think where I heard this thing, for me, it was cheering, because I think last week or 2 weeks ago, we saw a 4-man shortlist of name of highly, what you call reputable coaches. And all of a sudden, without even interviewing them, asking them any question or whatever the plans they had, you settle that this is the person you want. On what basis? Is that how it's done? People, there's a vacancy for a job. You are inviting people for an interview. You didn't even interview them, then you just pick this man and say, come, we are giving you this job.
Well, good afternoon, Sport fan, once again. I keep on saying always on this particular platform that the Nigerian Football Federations, they are always a victim of their own decisions. And when Nigerian Football, the officials of Nigerian Football Federations tell you that you should sit down here, just at that particular hour that they told you to sit down there, be sure of where you are sitting. Because as they ask you to sit down there, you will sit down there till tomorrow, you will not see them again. But when that list came out, and I said when the shortest said that, well, the normal procedures in appointing the coaches, and when there's a vacant job, and it's in the due process, even in Nigerian government, you advertise the position. And once you advertise position and leave a window open, that between so and so, whoever interested, submit your CV and apply for the job. That is ideal. That is also good. And I can tell you confidently, except let someone else come out to prove me wrong, that neither of those coaches, apart from the person they have their mind, apply for this job.
At all.
They just on their own, they went on the internet and just see their name and write their name up and submit their certificate. If not, then thank God for the minister. Even as much as I may not like the minister, I so you may not like what he said, but what he's insisting, some people may criticize him more than the people say the way where he asked for it, the prerogative of Nigeria Football Federation to appoint the coach. Say yes, the minister is not questioning it has the prerogative of the NFF to appoint the coach. But follow the due process, follow the normal procedure, follow the best standard practice. You shortlisted somebody for interview. If you have, I don't even know if those coaches, the former Barcelona coach, the break and the Kuku, if they are even aware that their name is even shortlisted for Nigeria, or maybe they have hide it already because the story is all everywhere. They have said that it's on the internet. If not, if you are going to call them for interview, if they have submitted their CV, as ordinarily, you're even supposed to publish their interviews and let Nigerians, everybody also see. Because the job they are applying for, they are applying for the job of Nigeria, the Super Eagles job. It's not an NFL, Super Eagles belongs to Nigeria. It doesn't belong to Nigeria, it doesn't belong to the NFL. So advertise their CV and let Nigeria also scrutinize it and see it. And then probably after that, then you call them for interview and let everybody submit in either a written interview or an oral interview and to know who among those qualified for the job. And even at the end of the day, yes, sometimes in an interview, maybe because of our own certain peculiar nation, maybe the best may not have the opportunity, or may not have all the necessary apparatus for what it takes to acquire the best based on his own standing or based on his requirement. You can also settle for the less, but let's prove it first. That yes, those people have already applied for jobs, but you cannot keep the condition. But because this man was the best job, but based on this certain condition, based on this and this, we cannot afford his pay, or we cannot afford his condition, and that's why we're setting for this. But just put people's, you just go on the internet, copy people's name, put on the newsprint, and they say, okay, these are the ones for students, and the next day you come from the back door, you say, well, I already settled for one man. Well, of course, Minister thank for this, and he should stood to his ground. Yeah, I'm not saying nobody should see it as an interference. It's not an interference. He just insists. It's advising. National interest. It's an advising, and this advice has to be hidden to head to.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the letter said in a letter of advice sent to the NFF in reply to their recommendation on Peseiro as a new coach, the minister said the chair of Philip Koku, Laurent Blanc, and Ernesto Velvel should be engaged in contract talks before a decision is taken. The minister feels even though Peseiro isn't a bad coach, he can't be said to be the best among the quartet justly for the job. Hence, he has advised the NFF to ensure that a thorough job is done and it involves extended talks to other interested candidates. Like you said clearly, it's an advice. It's not interference, not saying you must do this, but this is how things are supposed to be done usually. Interview all of these people. Like he's saying, yes, I don't have anything against Peseiro, but you can't tell us that he's the best. Interview all of these people, hear them out, hear their plans for Nigerian football. And if you feel it fits into your criteria of what you want to achieve in Nigerian football in the next 3-4 years, or as the case may be, then you appoint on that basis.
Even though I'm sorry, even though some by Nigerian style, by Nigerian standards, sometimes appointment into the civil service or appointment into a certain institution, maybe they have the people they want to appoint already, but still they still play to the data and even call people to call for interview. At least for exercise sake and for a proof sake, let them even call this people for interview. Even though you may have your mind settled for the Peseiro, you are going to come up with that judge. At the end of the day, okay, Peseiro is the best based on your that's all you want to achieve. But at least just leave Canada and let people see that you are even serious to appoint the coaches first.
Away from that now to different story, but still from the home front. This is coming from Kano, where as a result of the unruly action of the Kano Pillars fans, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Gandhi, has actually set up a committee to probe the incidences surrounding that ugly event that happened in that match against between Kano Pillars and Katsina United. And remember that in the course of that fracas, the bus of Katsina United was actually vandalized, but the governor has promised to replace that bus. But looking at this issue, I mean, sometimes you think we've gone past this issue in Nigerian football, but yet and yet again, you keep hearing of this. Thankfully, the governor has intervened. We hope something good comes out. But as a result of that, don't forget that Kano Pillars have been playing in Kaduna and returning back
from Kaduna, then later they moved to
Katsina. Then moving back to your home ground, you just played one match, and look at what your fans have caused, and now you've been banished.
And they were even banished to Katsina.
Exactly.
Because of this fan.
Yes, exactly.
But it is good that the government is coming out, but it's better late than never. The governor coming out at this time, to me, it is too late. But the match was played on Saturday, and they expected the governor to take immediate action with all the things. Kano State, no doubt, is one of the Kano State. If I'm not mistaken, I think within the Northern State, Kano State is one of the. I may be good from, but to me, from my own assessment, Kano State is one of the Northern State who have just committed to sport development.
Oh, of course.
And sport
Very
development.
well.
And that is why Kano Pillars, every successful governors of Kano State always invest in the Kano Pillars, and they take Kano Pillars as a prime project. No governors, no Kano State governor, right from even the era of the military governor, the campus, Bram Sakaro, make sure all the early governor of Kano State always take Kano Pillars to their dear heart, because they see it as a pride of the state, and because of the love and the attachment of the citizen to the club.
Yeah.
So every governor always take Kano Pillars as a very as a priority project. And for a club that you invested so much on, and if something is happening in that club, it should be very interested to take action immediately.
Exactly.
But when it is good that Gaduji is taking this action, but he could have taken this action
Earlier on.
More importantly, for instance, the deputy governor, Nasu Gahuna, is a very strong sport person, and is a useful president and a very strong sportman. We know most of us, we know him as a sport person. It's later that we saw that he's a politician. If not, he grew most of the artists and everything we know about him is all about sport. So having those people at the helm of a government in Kano State should have taken this action immediately. But it's good that they are coming out, because it will prove to me they need to take a very harsh decision to serve as a deterrent. Because Kano State is a brand, Kano Pillars is a brand and a good image for Kano State. So if somebody people are trying to bastardize such image that gives so much to your people, that gives so much pleasure, so much joy to your people, you don't take that with negative. So a serious action, a serious action to be meted out forever have found culpable behind such incident. But it doesn't do us good, it doesn't do any people. Now Kano Pillars, now they have been banished from Abuja. To whose benefit?
Exactly.
The fans will be the one to meet the Kano Pillars, and at the same time, add additional expenses to the state government.
Of course. I'm not forgetting that Kano Pillars haven't even been doing so well in the league this season.
They're not being so well. Now they are being deducted 3 points. Without deduction of 3 points, that has pushed them down to the bottom line. Now they are on the same spot with the Hassan who are the bottom position.
Exactly.
So now they need to fight hard to survive, or if they go relegation, maybe that would have been good for them.
Still on the NPFL, where some matches went down yesterday, and finally Lobby Stars defeated Gombe United 2-1 yesterday, and that win means that Lobby Stars are a step above the relegation places. They are now in the 16th position, and seems like new coach Robert Ganaro seems to have what it takes to get Lobby Stars back to reckoning. Recall that before he took over, the club was not doing too well, but since his appointment, he hasn't done too poorly, if you ask me. Of course, in other matches, it was some matches are actually going on currently. Of course, it's Eyimba versus Kano Pillars, which is 0-0 as it stands. Akwa United, National United 0-0 also, while MFM versus Wiki Tourist is also 0-0. Then Sunshine Stars Rivers United also 0-0, while Catalan and Plateau United about to start. Of course. And then Casino United also defeated Shooting Stars 3-1 in that one. So looking at the games played yesterday, I mean, other games, of course, Remo Stars also trashed Takada Stars 4-1, while Kwa United played a 1-1 draw with Abia Warriors. Then it was 2-1 Niger Tornadoes up against Rangers. That was a shocking scoreline, actually, considering that Niger Tornadoes haven't also been consistent and been able to beat a high-flying Rangers side. I think that's a good result for Tornadoes. Looking at the matches we saw yesterday.
For Niger Tornadoes, they were not consistent in the first standard of the league. But since the start of the second standard, they have pulling out fantastic result, and at the same time, they maintain that they are new fan of form, and they were able to beat their Blue Mekawa side at Kaduna Stadium, their new adopted home. And then talking of Gombe, Lobby, I was happy for Lobby yesterday. And if Lobby had lost that match yesterday, that would have been another fire mountain for the Lobby fans and for the Lobby management. So Dominic Ayuba by now would be on the hot seat or thinking about whether he's going to lose the job again. So, but fortunately for them, yesterday they were able to have a score and get the needed 3 points. against Gombe United. That has just like that have led them off the relegation zone. They are on 16 on the log, one step above the relegation. So the next thing that I hope that if they can be able to continue from there and then gradually move out of the relegation and move to the sixth. Despite moving to the, remember they are not safe here. They are not in the safe position there. So being safe. So maybe they from there they'll be able to move gradually and get to the saving step. So it was a fantastic interesting yesterday, and then congratulations to the stars.
All right, at this point, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, Sport Upbeat continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sports Orbit now. Yesterday, the draws for the 2023 African Cup of Nations. So 2 days back, actually, were held, and as we all know by now, the Super Eagles are in the same group with Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Sao Tome and Principe, or either of Mauritius. But of course, the Super Eagles will begin the qualifying series with starting with Sierra Leone here in Nigeria before they travel to either Sao Tome or Port Louis for match day 2 encounter. I mean, on a sports program I saw on the day of the draw, former Chelsea forward Solomon Kalou said clearly Nigeria are the favourites to come out tops in that group. Let's say if we have looking at what we have on paper.
Well, it's a very easy draw for the Super Eagles. There's no even to look or compare. It's just say our own. Sometimes the more you look, the less you understand about what's happening in the Super Eagles. If not, ordinarily, there's no anything. Ordinarily, I even say, let's use Super Eagles team B to play this qualifiers. If the old days where Super Eagles was super, but now that the name of the Super Eagles, that they should remove the name Super from the Eagles. If not, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, but what one is that those three Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau are just are more look like a familiar foe.
Yeah.
The Super Eagles, remember, Super Eagles were in the same draw, were in the same qualifiers, the same qualified group for the 2021 AFCON. The last AFCON we had in Morocco, were in the same group together, and both Nigerians and Sierra Leone qualified from that group at the expense of Benin Republic and Liberia. So now they are being grouping in the same group A again to play for the qualifiers, and along with the Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau were in the same group with Guinea-Bissau at the AFCON in Cameroon, which was the Super Eagles last group match, and then we won that match 2-0. So they are not a strange opponents to the Super Eagles, apart from maybe Sao Tome. I don't think Sao Tome has anything to do to the table.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, we recall that even during the running up to the World Cup qualifying players were in a group that was supposed to be an easy one, but at a point it looked like we had to struggle to actually top that group. So sometimes you see these names in the group and you expect that the Super Eagles will just blow all of these things, but just like you said,
Cross them aside.
Exactly, but just like you said, sometimes the Super Eagles is the more you see, the less you understand. Anyway, away from that now to EPL where Manchester United, after weeks of speculation, current Ajax manager Erik ten Hag has been appointed as the new manager of Manchester United. He actually agreed a 4-year contract with United with the possibility of extending for another year. Ten Hag is currently on the verge of winning his third title in 5 years at Ajax. Recall that he took Ajax to that famous fairy tale Champions League run where they ended up in the semi-final. That was 3 seasons ago. And I mean, credit to him at his time as Ajax manager. He's been able to build 2 successful teams after that team that got to the stage of the semi-final that season. Recall that the players were so much in demand in the market that the following season, almost all of those players left for a bigger club, from the lead to Hakim Ziyech to Frankie de Jong at Barca. A lot of those players left, and it was like, look, your best players have gone, but was able to replicate, build another team, and right now that same team will be built on the verge of winning the title once again in Holland.
Yeah, Eric, have just like you say, have proved his mentor and has proved that he's one of the successful coach, and nobody will not admire what he has done at Ajax.
Yeah.
And that is what that really attract, and that one of the things that attract Manchester United to him. But the good thing about disappointment, I think that's not not his love of Manchester United.
Mm.
But the good thing about that they were able to do disappointment on time.
Yeah.
It's not coming this season, but this is for next season.
Yeah.
And
That you have time for pre-season and all that.
Now by the time he still have a job at the Ajax, and by the time he closed the job this season, but then at the preseason he has enough time. He started marketing, and the player, most of the player he has to bring in, and those two that he has to let it go. So it is a good and it shows clearly that Manchester United have so how they describe it. So it shows clearly that Manchester United are not happy about what is happening to the club in the last 6 years without winning anything, and it becomes clear that even the Ragnick that they brought as an interim coach after Mr. Oli, it shows that Ragnick has no solution to the Man U problem, and it's good that the management of Man U never even waste time. But you remember, Ragnick has the opportunity to become a permanent coach if he has done well. But the managers of Man U, in their own wisdom and based on what they have seen, because if you look what Man U against Liverpool on Tuesday, even either you are not a Man U fans, you'll be totally annoyed with the performance completely. It's like as if
just like a training match for Liverpool.
it's like as if Man U is playing a club from Nigeria.
Exactly.
So it's totally annoying, and a serious management will not allow such a thing to control. So it's good that they have moved quickly to know this in the board, and by the time Hag will have enough time to prepare and to think about next season, and hopefully they are bringing the task to rebuild the money, and then maybe people will now be able to see Man U. We will all see in the Man U was in the 2009, 2017, 16, and 17 the era of Alex Ferguson.
Yeah. All right, so matches also went down in the English Premier League last night. Of course, the match that everybody seems to be talking about was the match between Chelsea and Arsenal, which ended actually 4-2 in favor of Arsenal. Good result for Arsenal, I mean, against all odds, when a lot of people thought that Chelsea were going to, as usual, have another routine win against Arsenal. But this time around, I think the Gunners had different plans completely in that one. I mean, interesting game to watch, and Arsenal against all odds. A lot of people didn't expect that kind of result, considering the fact that in recent times, Chelsea have had the edge. It looks like every time Chelsea were all up against Arsenal, it was almost like a done deal.
3 points.
Yeah, I mean, but yesterday it was a different story altogether.
Yeah, it was a different ball game yesterday, and I can confidently say that a lot of people lost money yesterday. All the bookmakers, all the bentors who are betting on the bentors, most of them who did that result yesterday, getting a shock of their life. So none of them could make money. I don't think anybody will make money from that match yesterday, because they all give it to Chelsea. And ordinarily, the Arsenal fans will also give that match to Chelsea yesterday. Because Arsenal, having lost their match, still consecutive matches, and nobody will give them a chance to come out against the Manchester City like that. But unfortunately, fortunately for the Arteta side, they were able, I don't know, whether they were able to press the right button and then get what they need, get the magic against, get the job done against the CSA. So congratulations to Arsenal fans, congratulations to my Arteta, and I hope that he's career and his player, and I pray that this will not get into their head because they still have a very long job to do, and if they must qualify,
5 matches to go,
and if they must qualify for the Champions, they still have Tottenham to contend with. So in their many months, I think they still have money to play.
Yeah.
They still have money to play. So definitely, and these are their direct rival for the Champions League position. So as Arteta and his player and his coaching crew needs to get into the trouble and ensure that the same formula they were able to use against us yesterday, if to be improved on. I'm not saying they should sustain that formula, but that formula should be improved on if they must get something off Manchester United and at the same time Tottenham.
Yeah. Of course, other matches, champions Man City once again at last Brighton 3-0, moving them back to the top of the table. Then of course Everton Leicester City that ended 1 goal apiece, while Newcastle Crystal Palace, Newcastle had the edge over Crystal Palace. For Everton Leicester City, not a bad result for Frank Lampard, if you ask me.
Well, not a bad result, but based on his position, I think to me it's also a bad result because he needed all the points to survive. And if you're sharing the point 1-1 with the Leicester City, you see that it's not a bad point, but it would be better if they pocket all the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, for Man City, Brighton, after that match, clearly Pep Guardiola said at this point in time, Man City cannot afford to drop even a point till the end of the season.
Definitely, they don't even need to tell anybody. If dropping a point means that they are going to lose the title, because they have somebody behind them who's chasing them from all they have. But which is that Man City hold their own destiny in their hand.
Yeah,
it is Liverpool that are looking for a help from somewhere. Maybe somebody who can do them a favor and they could knock off some points off in the Man City. But Man City that clearly have their own destiny in their own hand. All they need to do is to win their matches. And when they win all the remaining matches, they are champions. Right, if they drop, if they fail, Liverpool can win all the matches. They may not be champions, but they need a help from somebody somewhere to give them the point.
Of course, in the other match it was Newcastle Crystal Palace. Newcastle not doing badly. I remember before the appointment of Eddie Howe as Newcastle were almost looked like they were going to be relegated, but since that man took charge, looks like things have improved. At least now.
Not look like
things have improved because Liverpool are now, I think, they're in the top 10 of
the league already. They have improved greatly.
Exactly, because at the point, because the point it looked like after so much investment by the Saudis, they were going to be relegated, but right now it's looking very unlikely as it is right now. Liverpool are Newcastle are sure that at least they're going to remain in the Premier League, and at least next season.
That one is already guaranteed.
Yeah, next season they'll be able to bring in the kind of players that they feel will take the club to the next level. On the last story, of course, is to Ligue 1, where PSG with that 3-0 win over Angers yesterday in the Ligue 1, PSG are on the verge of winning their 10th title after that 3-0 win. If they win this title, they will equal the record set by Saint Etienne. That was between 1957 and 1981, where they also won 10 titles. They will be among the highest teams to have won the title. I mean, not an unfamiliar story for PSG.
At all. Perennial champion.
Perennial champions who some might want to refer them as local champions because they local champions. They have dominated the League 1, but when it came to the Euro, except two seasons ago, that was 2 seasons ago, when they went to the final. Against Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich beat them in the final. So the next season, they also did in the semi-final. And lost the semi-final to Man City. And lost the semi-final match to Man City. Now, this season, they could not even get to the quarterfinal. So after most investment, people were hoping that having got to the final 2020, get to the final, then the second season you went to semi-final. People after much investment, bringing Messi, bringing this one, bringing everybody, people hope that at the end
what left for Man City appears to be this season, the Champions League. But unfortunately, despite all the eyes of stars,
Exactly.
if you are talking of football stars, they are domiciled in the PSV at the moment. But unfortunately, they will not even get close to where they are without Messi and every other kid here. But let's see how it's going to be next season for them. Because they are becoming. They need to remove that tag of being a local champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Become a fighter outside their own home.
I agree with you.
Just like a husband who keep on beating his wife all the time, but when he gets outside, he see his men, he run away.
All right, completely. I mean, it's time PSG really get the job done outside of France, because they right now they should be used to winning the league over and over again. Seems every coach who comes to PSG, no matter how good or bad the coach is, ends up at least winning the league one way or the other. Anyway, viewers,
Like
this is where,
I don't think the players are even excited about winning the league.
of course, I mean, having won it several times, what they've been wanting to win for a long time has been the Champions League, but they keep falling short. Anyway, viewers, this is the much we can bring to you on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Do remember that we'll keep an eye on all the sporting events that will also be going down, and tomorrow we'll give you a complete review and recap of all the events that will go down today. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio once again.
Thank you.
All right, until come your way tomorrow on another exciting episode of Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho. Stay safe out there, and it's goodbye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.